Very good morning to all the students of class plus 1B. Yes, beta, we have already done poem A Photograph, fine. But I'll be giving you the gist again, so that come back again to the track after a holiday. The Photograph, written by Shirley Tolson. You can better have the connection of this poem with your previous chapter, The Portrait of a Lady also. In The Portrait of a Lady, they have just portrayed a character of grandmother. Fine. In this, we are focusing on poet's mother. So in both the things, one thing is common, the connection, the bond of the child with the grandparent or with the mother, and how he also thinks that when he'll be coming back from abroad, he won't be able to see his grandmother. He was quite emotionally attached with her. In this poem, A Photograph, also, Shirley Tolson is missing badly her mother, who's no more, how she would laugh at the snapshot. Fine. So both the chapters are interconnected. That's why they have just immediately after it, they have given this poem so that we can connect the themes. Fine. So without wasting much time, I'll be sharing the screen with you all. You can see. And please have books with you. Let's start. We have done this poem, but I'll be just giving you the gist. So the photograph actually is a photograph pasted on the cardboard, which shows two girl cousins, Betty and Dolly, along with poet's mother. Fine. And all three of them in their childhood, they have went for paddling in the sea. Each of them was holding one of the hands of the poet's mother, Shirley Tolson's mother. So poet's mother is standing in between, and on one side Betty, on the other side Dolly. Both are the cousins of poet's mother. So all three of them standing and holding hands and smiling through their hair. They are having unkempt, shabby parents, the way children enjoy the way they are. So uncle is capturing that moment of childhood. All three stood still facing the camera, and they pushed their hair aside to smile. Thus, the uh, photograph presents their smiling faces, and face of the poet's mother was quite sweet, you can say. And it was the time when obviously Charlotte Olson was not born, and at that time I already discussed that the poem is divided in three phases. First phase is when poet's mother was a child herself, fine, and she was looking at the camera, smiling and getting the picture clicked. In second part, in second phase, Charlotte Olson's mother is no more, she's dead, you can say. And how she would first, sorry, second phase is when she would laugh at the snapshot. I missed this third, that was the third one. So second phase is when Charlotte Olson's mother, she is now married, she's having children, and she would look at that snapshot and she would laugh. And how they dressed up for beach, she would look at her cousins, she would enjoy that moment, she would become nostalgic by seeing that picture. And now in the second phase itself, uh, poetess Shirley Tolson has mentioned that laughter was her nostalgic moment, and poet's mother would miss that, you can say, beach holiday, and she would miss her mother's laughter because mother is not there. So now in the last stanza, third phase is when she is no more, and the poet feels the loss of words to comment on this situation. Clear? And it's a, you can say, such silent moment in which she cannot express herself in words. So poetess pays a tribute to her mother. It is the old photograph actually that moves her to silence. Then all she has with her is that photograph of her mother, that of childhood photograph of her mother, how she would look at this photograph, how she would laugh at this photograph, and now she's no more, only memories are left, and poetess becomes silent. She's not able to express. Fine, we have already done. Now let's move to question answers. You will be raising hand, or I will ask any one of you. What does the word cardboard denote in the poem? Why has this word been used? Peter, don't hesitate that if I speak and I will be giving wrong answers, no problem, we will correct it. Just try to inculcate the speaking habit in you. Though you speak wrong, no problem. Fine. So raise your hands. First question. What does the word cardboard denote? In the beginning, I have discussed with you. Why has this word been used? Even if you know the answer of part 1, you can raise your hand immediately, or otherwise I will just ask any one of you. Raise your hands. No movement. Okay. Yes. Arshpreet, you can speak. You have raised hand. Beta, well done.
The word cardboard denotes the mounted photograph of the mother and her two cousins. And the poet has used this word because the photograph, being old, is now worn out and faint. Moreover, it is surrounded by the by frame.
Yes, fine. So you can mute yourself, Ashpreet. Then see, in this, they say the word cardboard denotes the photograph. So what does the word cardboard denote? Two parts are asked, the two answers you will be giving. In the first, the word cardboard denotes the photograph pasted on a, you can say, thick paper or hard thick paper. Why has this word been used? This word has been used because in the past time, you remember, if you ask your parents and you will see the pictures of grandparents, they used to use a very hard cardboard, and on which they would you can say paste their pictures. You can mute yourself better. So clear. So they were not having albums, and they were not having you can say, these days we are having framed photographs, even matte finished, and with n number of, you can say, facilities. So that's why you will say the cardboard denotes the photograph pasted on the hard thick paper, and this word has been used to refer to a practice in the past when photographs were pasted on cardboard and framed with glass front to preserve them. Fine. Hard होता था बहुत ज्यादा, and it was cardboard only, and the front was covered with glass. These days तो glass वाला photograph आता ही कम है, still exists, but it is very less. Clear? Now, second is, what has the camera captured? It is a question which anybody can answer, I guess. What has the camera captured? Boys, come out, you two. Only Ashpreet has raised hand. What about others? Come on. What has the camera captured? Very easy. Camera has captured your photograph. What? Yes, Anjali, you have raised hand. You can speak better.
Ma'am, the camera has captured the photograph of mother and her two cousins when they went for a vacation during her childhood days. Photograph was taken by her uncle, and the photograph was taken by her uncle, and they were looking innocently in their hair.
Okay, fine. So Anjali, one thing, very good. You just made efforts, but you weren't using the word vacation. It's a holiday. There is a difference. Fine. It was just a day's holiday when we go out in that way. So what has the camera captured? This is the way bit of how to write answer. The camera has captured. Firstly, we'll be telling that what it has captured, and then the details, exactly the way Anjali has given answer. So the camera has captured the three girls, the poet's mother, and her two cousins, Betty and Dolly. Tell the names also. Clear? And they were in their swimming dresses. Now what the camera has captured? The girls, their attire, where they were standing. Fine. In that way, you will be giving the each and every detail. After telling the camera has captured the three girls, poet's mother, you can note down, beta. You have to take value points in one notebook only. I told you already. And two cousins, Betty and Dolly, and in their swimming dresses with the poet's mother in the middle and two of the cousins on either side. Fine, holding her hands and standing bare feet, smiling through their hair. Whatever was captured in the picture you mentioned. Fine, bare feet खड़े हैं, सी साइड पे खड़े हैं, smiling through their hair, holding hands. Poet's mother is in the center. Two cousins, Betty and Dolly. Clear? Everything you have mentioned. What has camera captured? Third is, what has not changed over the years? Does this suggest something to you? This is actually the theme of this poem. In this third question, anybody raise your hand? I'll be waiting for a few seconds and then I will start. Anybody can answer? What has not changed over the years? The dash has changed less. The dash has changed less. It is used in your poem itself. Any new student, those who are not participating? Anjali and Ashpreet cannot participate now. They have already given answer. I want some new students. Beta, Divnoor, any other? Divnoor, why you are, okay, are you able to? I'm just checking who else is there. Nidhi, can't you answer? Namanpreet. Nobody raising hand. Mitali also. Means you people just sit. Answer will be given by me, no problem. But the thing is, you should participate, have confidence, would be doctors. See, how will you talk to your patients then that this is the problem, this is you need to solve out. You have to be confident enough in this profession. So what has not changed over the years? The C has not changed over the years. C is actually, you can say, projecting the nature, right? So the sea has not changed over the years. Its waves are fresh, clear, and everything is. Wait. So what has not changed over the year? The sea has not changed over the years. Its waves are fresh, shining, and tireless as they were years ago. Fine. And you can say the transient human beings are actually compared with intransient nature. Human face changes, human beings change with the passage of time, they die one day, but nature is permanent. So this suggests us that human beings are transient and nature is intransient, which does not change, it remains same. The poetess mother laughed at the snapshot. What did this laugh indicate? Yes, those who are sending me answers. Yes. Okay, you are sending me in the chat box. Okay, Ramanjeet has raised hand. Yes, Raman.
Her laughter indicated her joy and her nostalgic feelings about her past.
Fine, you can wait. Fine. So you can say the poetess mother laughed at the snapshot. What did this laugh indicate? The laugh indicated her joy at remembering an incident concerned with her past life, how happy she was, how when she was quite young and free from the tensions and worries of life, how she would enjoy the and relish those moments with the girl cousins. What is the meaning of both rye with the labor days of loss? Very important, beta, because this expression is the only one which seems to be difficult to students. That's what I'm saying. Both rye with the labor days of loss. Actually, I won't be asking you now, I would be explaining. The sea holiday and the laughter of the poet's mother are incidents of the past. Fine. There is a sense of loss associated with them. Both are amusing, but at the same time disappointing because it is quite the sense of loss is quite painful to bear at this moment. So that's why she says silent silences. Clear? So the you can say what is the meaning of both rye with the labor days of loss? Poetess mother has lost her childhood memories and she would become nostalgic. She would miss those memories that how she used to enjoy carefree in the childhood. And now the poetess has lost her mother herself and she's bearing that loss with heavy heart. And this is quite disappointing. That sense of loss is quite unbearable to, you can say, feel. She's quite painful after this. So this is both here stand for poetess as well as her mother. Both have suffered one kind of loss at one point of time. Fine. But can you tell me whose loss seems to be heavier? This is not written here. I'm just asking, whose loss? Poet's loss was heavier or poet's mother loss was heavier according to you? Poet's mother loss was heavier. What was poet's mother loss? The childhood memories, that picture, the snapshot, that free time and carefree attitude, enjoying holidays. And poet's loss is her mother herself. So obviously the big loss is to poetess. Fine, she has lost her mother. And what does this circumstance refer to? This circumstance refers to demise or death of poet's mother. This circumstance refers to death of poet's mother. This situation is of death of poet's mother. The three stanzas depict three different phases. Name them. This we have done earlier. Anyone who would just name it? Raise your hands, beta. Jaldi say, don't waste time. This is online class. Already we are having less time. Raise your hand. Name three phases. Only in one line you can name also. मिताली जी अनम्यूट करिए अपने आप को. मिताली ठाकुर, are you listening to me? Yes, beta, three phases.
Yes, ma'am. First is a childhood of poet's mother.
Yes. Second.
And then second is the memories which the poet's mother
You can
and
say childhood of poet.
poet.
Right? Childhood of poet herself, when her mother was a grown-up lady and she would look at the photograph and miss the memories. Then third phase is last phase, beta.
The death of the mother.
Yes.
Poet's mother.
See, you know the answer, then why didn't you raise the hand? The reason is, you can mute yourself, Mitali. The thing is, beta, you people become quite, hesitant of speaking, that why should I raise hand? If you know the answer, speak up. Fine, this will boost your confidence. So see, beautifully you have given the answer. Those you were just trying to find the answers here and there. Sometimes you are having books, these days you have access to books and answers nearby, but even then I believe, even if you are seeing the answer while speaking, suppose I ask someone a question and that child does not know the answer to it, but he is just seeing and reading from the book. Actually, he's trying to find out something. That is also, I appreciate. Okay, you read it from somewhere and you spoke, and by that time also you are learning. Clear? And that remains permanent in your memory. Okay, ma'am has asked me this question and I read it there and I know the answer. At least you're learning something. So the three stanzas depict three different phases. First phase is the girlhood of the poet's mother. Girlhood or childhood, both are correct. The childhood or girlhood of the poet's mother. This period belongs to the poet's mother when poetess was not even born. Fine. When Charlotte Olson was not even born at that time. First phase. Second phase, write down. Second phase belongs to the middle age of poet's mother and childhood of poet. Clear? Middle age of poet's mother and childhood of poet Shirley Olson, and how her mother would miss those memories of childhood. Third period and the last period deals with the death of poet's mother. She's no more, and now poet Shirley Olson herself is missing her mother badly. So three phases are there. Now, beta, you will be doing stanza-based questions based on the stanza. So note down. I'm just switching it to the poem based on first stanza, beta. First, I have just highlighted the lines. Fine. So write down first question, name the poem and the poet. always the first question would be about this. Name the poem and the poet. Now, let me tell you all the students that whenever you get such questions, you won't be giving one word answers. One word answers are totally to be avoided in class plus one. You will be writing the name of the poem is A Photograph and the name of the poet is Shirley Tolson. Name of the poem to be kept in single inverted commas. First letter capital photograph ka. Name of the poet also to be kept in inverted commas and Shirley Tolson ka S and T capital. Clear? These things matter. Your presentation matters a lot because I haven't seen and let me tell you, I will be just putting message in the group about your test. So next week you are having test of the portrait of a lady as well as photograph. Clear? Tomorrow is a Sunday, so you can better prepare and you will be having your test. I'll be announcing the time. Usually it is 5 p.m. Fine. Test is usually at 5 p.m. and the day I will be just telling you, I'll be putting the message in the group. So you just prepare both the chapter, one chapter and one poem. I can ask you anything about this. Fine. So first question is name the poem and the poet. Second question, beta, write down. Give the meaning of the word paddling. Give the meaning of the word paddling. I have discussed everything with you. Now I won't be discussing. You can note down the questions. Give the meaning of the word paddling. Third question is, who are the three girls referred to? Who are the three girls referred to? REFERRED, referred to. Who are the three girls referred to? Means इस stanza में कौन सी three girls की बात हुई है? Fine, 3 questions you have done. Now switch to second stanza. I'm not able to highlight the second stanza. Whom does she refer to? First question is, whom does she refer to? REFER, refer to. The whole beta till loss. Second stanza is till loss. Fine, I'm giving you the question based on this. I'm not able to highlight the whole stanza. I told you. Second is explain the expression. Explain the sentence. Both rhyme with labored ease of loss. Explain both rhyme with labored ease of loss. Third is give the meaning of the word rye. WRY. I have already beta make you you can say write that day. Give the meaning of the word rye. WRY. Now last is this one. First question, third stanza. What does this circumstance refer to? What does this circumstance? Put this circumstance in inverted commas. Second question is, why is the poetess speechless? Why is the poetess speechless? Third is, which poetic device is used in this stanza? Which poetic device? Yes, which poetic device is used? Repetition. In last line, they have used silence, silences. One word is repeated. Fine. Repetition, the device, literary device and poetic device, one and the same thing. Clear? Literary device and poetic device, one and same thing. Now, one long question, beta, that is not there in your book, but you will be just noting down the question and think about the answers. When I'm making you note some questions, take notes of all the questions at one place in one assignment notebook of English. So now after doing this short questions, we have done stanza based questions. Now come back to long question, only one long question. What impression do you form of the poetess? What impression do you form of the poetess and the poetess mother after reading the poem A Photograph? What impression do you form of the poetess and the poetess mother after reading the poem A Photograph? So better you can note down the value points. The poem actually, represents both the characters beautifully. The poet is represented as a sensitive person. She's very sensitive, and which shows she's quite affectionate towards her mother. She's deeply attached to her mother. Actually, they're asking you the character sketch of both the ladies in this. So we are talking about firstly Shirley Tolson, poet. She's a sensitive person. She's quite affectionate and loving towards her mother. She's deeply attached to her. She loves the sweet face of her mother. She notes the changes in her life. She, misses the minute details. She remembers all the incidents connected with her life, including her laughter, the way she would look at the snapshot, everything. And at last, she is quite emotional. She is not able to bear the loss of her mother. Find the pangs of separation actually make her speechless. So that shows she was quite emotional, sensitive, and affectionate woman. Now, in second paragraph, you will be discussing the character sketch of poetess mother. So you will be discussing the poetess mother appears a beautiful person inside out. Fine. She is mentioned with a sweet face. She has a beautiful smile. She seems to be of a temperament, you can say a friendly temperament. She's quite friendly. You can see free-spirited lady. She has great affection for her two girl cousins with whom she went for sea holiday. She poses with them smilingly for a snap. Fine. And the way she would laugh at the photograph, it shows that she was a jovial lady. She would, become happy out of small things. So she was, you can say, a lady of fine temperament and good humor. You can conclude by saying that only. Any doubt to anyone in this poem, you can ask me now. On the day of test, beta, you're not supposed to ask me then. Beta, Anjali, you will be just, what impression do you form of the character of poet as well as her mother? This is the long question. What impression do you form of poetess Shirley Tolson as well as her mother? So two character sketches are asked in one question. Whenever two parts are there, you will be changing paragraph. In one paragraph, you will give character sketch of poet, and in second, you will be giving the character sketch of mother. Fine, beta, do preparation side by side. You won't get extra time. I'm telling you. When these days you are free enough, I must say, though you will be having tuitions whatsoever, but even now you can prepare well for English now. No problem is there. Fine. It's okay.